Another dungeon's run through of Unravel. This particular level of Unravel, probably one of the first more difficult ones, with a fair few deaths potentially. This is also their level that you'll probably notice if you've ever watched the trailer for Unravel. You'll probably notice but in this particular level, which you'll see a bit later on. Again, I think as I've touched on before in the previous episodes as well, this level starts just the same as most of them do, which is slowly. So the first puzzle, essentially, in a way, which does make sense, you've got to fill this up with water. So what we're going to do is just pull this down and I'm going to jump across and put a tie on there, and then we're also going to jump up and put a tie on here, and then go down here. Up. That's not what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to pull this closer somehow. Can't remember exactly. Come on. Don't die, Yanni. Oh, you're gonna die. Oh well. You had a good life for a short period of time. Hey, whoa. Now that wasn't my fault. So you see there's a fair few mosquitoes as well in this level. One of the achievements for this particular level is making sure that you don't swat any mosquitoes, which is when you essentially throw your yarn around. There we go. And we untie that there. To move all the way across. Oh, that's right. Another one of those confusing things where you kind of need to progress and then don't realise that you've got to go back and move something to the Unravel. See, I don't understand as well. Sometimes, oh, you're kidding me. Sometimes a jump like that will actually kill you, which does make sense. But, hey, whatever. You know, Yanni must be pretty strong too, to be able to push rocks like that. Even though he's just yarn. But, whatever, I'm not a yarn individual, so I don't know what the strengths of a yarn created individual would be. As you can see, there's a shiny bit there. That was where one of the collectibles is. Obviously in these particular videos I'm not going to show you where the collectibles are. There are many collectible videos out there. This is mostly just showing you what you need to do in this particular level. And originally these particular videos were supposed to be showing a no death run, but after dying early in the last video, I decided that it was much easier to not do that, because then I'd be resetting often, which is not entertaining viewing. So yeah, as you can see, you can fling the your yarn around to swat the mosquitoes, because essentially if you don't swat them, then it just makes life a little bit slower for you. And again, there is an achievement associated with that, which is mostly just related to, you know, making life a little bit more difficult for yourself. Go away. And that's right, got to see, you need to make a bridge to jump up here, but if I put a hook here and then put a hook over there, then I'm not going to have enough yarn to be able to create a bridge. So you have to do it this way. It's just one of the things which you need to be a little bit more precise with some of the levels, and then it makes it a little bit frustrating, but what can you do? This particular puzzle is really frustrating as well, because it just doesn't really make, like the first time it doesn't make a lot of sense. Mostly because it's not exactly clear what you can interact with and what you can't interact with. So it took me a few times to realize what I needed to do. And again, I ran out of yarn fairly easily here. These shiny rope things mean that you can actually climb up. So what I found the first time that I played this level was that I put a hook up here, thinking I've got to swing across here, but I'd run out of rope, just like I almost have here. So it became quite annoying, because I would get a certain distance and just miss the jump, because I'd put one extra tie on down the bottom, which again made a frustrating thing, because you just need to be more precise. I don't understand this, because he's made out of yarn. He can't be that heavy. So essentially in the to get the achievement, you need to not do that and then manage to jump across jumps like that, which isn't very easy. Okay. And again, this is another really confusing thing, because there's a rock here which you can use, and I'm really not sure what the point of the rock is. Come on. Because it's simply there for not really much reason at all. Go away. And again, I mean, that's quite a distance from there to throw your yarn, but sometimes some of the puzzles, you aren't able to reach them for some strange reason, because you don't have enough distance between, like it's too short a distance. And again, I don't understand these bridges as well, because sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. It's all a bit too context sensitive. So, there we go. That's right. And this is the beginning of their anti-mining, I guess. You know, the pro-environmental aspect of this game, which is fine. I've got no problems with that. It just comes across as a little bit heavy-handed, I think. Ooh. Now this helmet up here you can use to get a collectible item down below, but I won't worry about that for the time being. More yarn, more yarn. Whoa, okay. It's a bit much yarny. He's up there. Watch out for the moose. I also don't know why mosquitoes would be interested in a yarn-related creature. I mean, it doesn't have blood or anything. They'd be more interested in something like mooses. Mooses? Moose. Is one moose a moose and multiple mooses moose? Or meese? I'm not sure. They're not like goose and geese. I really should know what my creatures are and the, you know, pronunciations of them, but we don't have mooses in Australia, so there you go. Oh, okay. You don't want me to do that. There we go. I must say, even though I did have issues with this particular game, the score I think is really lovely. You know, I think they do a superb job of the score. Oh, that's right. And then there's knots like that. Well, I mean, there's no point in that knot because it just confuses, which I don't understand why they would throw in things that would just simply confuse. Like, it doesn't add anything to the whole story. We're almost done. Come on, Yanni. Don't look so sad. Who leaves all this yarn around the world anyway? That's littering. And then we're at the end, where it suddenly gets a lot brighter for some reason. All this destruction. You terrible creature, Yanni. Maybe some birds were nesting in there. You just destroyed their house. Aww. Can't remember what that's supposed to be. A bird, maybe? Mosquito? So there you go. That's Berry Mire. Thank you again for watching. Make sure to follow us on Facebook, Another Dungeon, Twitter, Another Dungeon, and head over to our website, anotherdungeon.com. Thank you. Bye.